Before us lies one of the most enigmatic landscapes of ancient Peru. We are flying over the Palpa Desert, a place where different generations left behind signs that we still do not fully understand. Lines, paths, and immense geometric shapes cross hills and ravines. Some were created more than 2,000 years ago. But what were their builders trying to reveal? From the ground, many of these markings almost disappear into the terrain. As we rise, however, the landscape begins to change. The lines preserve a remarkable direction, as if they were guiding us toward a specific point. Were they ceremonial pathways, symbols connected to water, or part of an ancient knowledge of the stars? Every possible answer leads to another question, and the desert remains silent. Ahead, an extraordinary scene emerges. On the hillside appears the figure of a bird, associated with an earlier tradition. Beyond it, an enormous trapezoid dominates the landscape. Two different moments may meet here: the legacy of Paracas and the later intervention of the Nasca. But did both cultures share the same purpose? Or did one attempt to transform the message of the other? From this height, the trapezoid resembles a vast cleared surface, precisely drawn across uneven ground. Its creators removed the dark stones, exposing the lighter soil beneath. A simple technique, carried out on a monumental scale. How many people took part in its construction? And why was this exact location chosen? As we approach, the bird of Palpa becomes clearer. Its hillside design recalls the Paracas tradition, while the great geometric form may belong to later Nasca developments. The trapezoid appears to touch, or perhaps even interrupt, part of the figure. Was this deliberate? Was it a ritual transformation? Or are we trying to interpret a meaning that disappeared centuries ago? Maria Reiche proposed that many of these lines were related to the movements of the sun, the moon, and the stars, an enormous calendar drawn across the desert. Other researchers see ceremonial spaces, pilgrimage routes, and rituals connected to water, mountains, and fertility. Yet no single explanation completely resolves this scene. Was the trapezoid pointing toward the sky, the surrounding territory, or something that no longer exists? But an even more disturbing question remains. If these immense shapes were sacred paths followed for generations, where are the visible signs of those travelers? From the air, we cannot distinguish heavily worn trails, resting places, or obvious concentrations of objects. The surface appears strangely clean, almost untouched. Large pilgrimages normally leave traces: broken pottery, food remains, fireplaces, containers, or gathering places. Perhaps the rituals were brief and carefully controlled. Maybe offerings were placed only at specific points. Or perhaps these figures were never intended to be walked upon. Then comes the most controversial possibility. What if these enormous designs were meant to be seen from the sky? Writers such as Erich von Daniken imagined that the trapezoids might have served as signals for visitors from other worlds. To supporters of this theory, they resemble landing strips, approach corridors, or maps visible from above. No scientific evidence confirms this idea. But the question remains: why create a monumental design whose complete form is revealed only when we leave the ground? Perhaps no spacecraft ever arrived here. Perhaps ancient priests observed the landscape from nearby mountains and reproduced these designs using ropes, stakes, and geometric knowledge. But why does the trapezoid appear to impose itself upon an older figure? Are we witnessing the continuation of a tradition, or an attempt to erase an earlier message? Two periods seem to meet in this place: the figurative tradition associated with Paracas and the monumental geometric designs later developed by the Nasca. Was the bird connected to an ancient water cult? Did it represent a protective deity? Or did it mark something that later generations wished to conceal? We now return to our starting point, but the landscape no longer looks the same. Every line seems like a direction. Every cleared surface resembles a signal. Every silence becomes a question. Sacred pathways, astronomical calendars, water rituals, territorial maps, or messages directed toward the sky. Perhaps the explanation is entirely human. Perhaps the knowledge vanished with its creators. Or perhaps we are still looking at these figures from the wrong perspective. The Palpa-Trapezoid remains here, motionless, waiting for someone to discover its true purpose. We have returned, but the mystery remains open. What is your theory? And perhaps that is the true power of Palpa. It does not give us answers. It challenges us to keep looking. Beneath the silence of this desert, an ancient message may still be waiting, written not in words, but in lines, shapes, and directions across the earth. Continue exploring the mysteries of Nasca, Palpa, Calle, and many more extraordinary places. Visit www.nasca360.com, subscribe, and experience Peru's ancient wonders in immersive 360 degrees. The desert is still speaking. Are you ready to listen?